Hello everyone, JM Gaming here, back again with another Idle Devils video. Today I'm going to be going over the rest of the buildings that we had left over and covering the last little bit of stuff in the Ironsmith. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, let's go ahead and knock out the easy ones like the Tavern. Tavern's very simple. You can choose to gamble free on this to pick like the top ones, so if you hit this for free, it's going to reset everything. And what you can do later on, if you're having a hard time getting some uniques, not set pieces though, because this doesn't work for set pieces, just basic unique stuff like rings and stuff like that don't have sets on them. You can just set this to unique. The best thing I would say is to use an auto clicker like OP auto clicker. You can just pop it on this and keep hitting the refresh non-stop, and then it'll stop on a unique. You can check it out and go ahead and grab it. You also can gamble certain specific ones, but I find that this is extremely rare to actually get a unique from. Like, you'll burn through all your money so quick, so I wouldn't even recommend even using it at all. I would just say to use this, because a lot of people, you're going to find that you need the Crimson Lotus Heart, because it's very, very good in a lot of builds. You'll find that out later in my build videos, but this is a great place to get it from. You also, I got a lot of this just from doing the set dungeons. I got a lot. So I would say after you do the set dungeons that you need, go ahead and come here and start resetting stuff once you get a decent bit of money. That's all there really is to this. Let's go ahead and move on. Career building. Very simple. All it is just gives you basic ideas on how to play. You've got the enemy guides. It's going to tell you the enemies, what they do in each one of the areas in the story mode. Pretty straightforward there. And you also get a little bit of a story mode. It shows you stuff. You can replay the story so you can get the cutscenes and stuff again. Not much to it, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, most of the time when I went into career was to just get the exclamation to get off here, like the little dot on it, just to get it to reset because it was annoying looking at it. All right, now the warehouse is a good thing because you can store all of your gear in here, which is really, really nice. I haven't known of any kind of an item capacity within my inventory that I hold on me or my storage, so it's always nice. Also, this rewards that you get, these claim rewards, it'll say it goes up to 30. Now what happens is ever so much of time passes, you actually get another one on this, and then of course it caps at 30. The good part is you don't even have to play. You can have the game completely shut down and this is still ticking. So I'll go ahead and I'll just grab this here. And this all the stuff I get. See how it's good for sigils? And we'll get right into sigils, what they do. But see, there's a lot of junk here, so then we could just go ahead and we could delete through this stuff after. So you're just going to go ahead and quick sell all this stuff. Bam, we'll do the epics, we'll do the legendaries, and there you go. You're all good. But then you get all of those resources too. It's really nice. All right, next, moving on. Let's go ahead and go into the Devil Trial because then the stuff that happens in the Ironsmith will be related to this. Trust me, it's all going to kind of work together. All right, so what we do in the Devil Trial is this is where you use the sigils that you constantly get throughout story mode. You also can get these tier 5 ones you can get from doing the Chaos Gates. And you can get 4s and higher from like story mode and from doing tower. The good thing about this is where you're going to go after set items. Because as you see, there's Samuel. See how it says in the bottom right hand corner it says Samuel? Then also this one says Belial. This is how you're going to farm their sets. See, this is this possible stuff you can get. Now what happens is it takes the regular world loot pool. You can still get everything that's the normal world stuff you would get in story, you would get in tower. But then it adds this to the loot pool. You might not necessarily get this stuff, but now has a chance to drop. And if you look at Samuel, see, same thing. We got all this stuff. And then they're going to be a little bit tougher because they're going to have nastier modifiers on them. Also, within these sigils, there's also stuff, let's see here, like the Greedy Treasure. This is a great thing to run for resources. As you see later on, like there's a tier 5 that's better. If you play on console, you don't get any tier 5s. They don't exist. And also the characters don't exist either. Like you don't get Belial, you don't get Samuel, you don't get, all 4 of those ones that you would get in the DLC. So that's why I say get the DLC. It's totally worth it. It's very cheap. But see, you're going to farm resources here with this one. Get another one, Crystal Mines. This is a great way to get yourself money. Also, when you're running money, make sure on your team you have the gold aspect rolled onto your gear, so you can go ahead and get more gold. Trust me, it adds up a lot. This says 1 billion. Let's see here. I think these people have it on. Let's go ahead and just run one of these so I can show you guys. Let's run one really quick. So see, you just got 6 waves. It doesn't really matter what you use, just as long as you can beat it. And this is very, very easy to beat. The difficulty is not high at all, guys. So you get through. Here's the last one. Wait for the little bit for them to walk up. Now it's 1 billion that is set, right? But now because I have all of my gear, I got 20.8 billion. See? 20.8 billion. So literally it's 20 times better because I have that stat on my gear. If you look, see, it says gold bonus, 83% on this one. So make sure you got the bonus gold, okay? Get on every slot you can possibly have, even if you got to use a different set for it. Trust me, you'll be happy you did. There's also the Paradise, Boundless Paradise. Now, this one's for XP, but keep in mind, by the time you can probably do this tier 5 one, you've probably already leveled up, everybody. If you watch my progression video after you're done with the story mode, the best thing to do is to level everybody up pretty much immediately. So what you're going to want to do is, there's actually a tier 4 one. I'll show you here. Where is it? Right there. So you don't get as much XP, but trust me, it's fine. If you have 2 people that are strong, you can always run a third with you that's kind of leeching to level up. Get like even these 2 first, and then you can run a third after. Because Beelzebub and Emily are going to be really, really good for you. These are 2 that you're going to use for tower anyways on your tower team. This is actually my tower team right here. We'll go into a guide on that after this one. But yeah, so that's what you're going to want to do. So I don't know if these guys got XP. I don't think they have XP gear on just because everybody's maxed. Max level is 200 in case you're wondering. So now what you're going to do is, if you don't have very many of those sigils, this is where the Ironsmith comes into play. We already went over the foraging aspect. So now we'll get into decomposition. So you're just going to select this here. Here's your sigils. So you can just take these junky sigils, right? And if you have a lot, I would just recommend using like an auto clicker. It's fine. So see, we'll take these. And so you get these items. So go ahead and hit decompose. There, we got 13 of those. Now what you could do is you can go to synthesis. And we'll say, because you need Boundless Paradise, get 35 of them and crank out a ton of them. As you see, I got like over 1,000. I could make a ton more of these, but I mean, I don't need this stuff anymore. But yeah, then all you got to do, you can select how many you want. I know it says here in Chinese, but this is the amount that you want to do. So say we want to, if we want to do more, then we could just put it in there. And then instead of just crafting one at a time, it's going to craft multiples. That's all it's for. But yeah, and you can decompose your gear, but let's be honest. The best thing to do is just sell it. I would recommend just selling it. You don't want to decompose any of this stuff. Just pretty much, let's be honest, it's just for sigils. Do it for that. All right, and that's it for this. Like, that's as simple as what this is. Now, if you want to get into like crafting Samuel, gear, craft the sigils for that. You want to craft sigils for Belial and stuff. Here's Lucifer, as you can see. You've got Samuel. You've got Asmodeus. And we've got Belial. There's your 4 DLC people, right? The rest of these are pretty easy. It's just going to require those same things that I said. Break down sigils, and then you can get them for the other easier gear. Beelzebub, Leviathan, all the rest. But these 4 are going to be more difficult. They're going to require these Chaos Crystals. Now, Chaos Crystals can drop randomly throughout going through Chaos Gate. But most likely you're going to need some of these in order to make a team to get through Chaos Gate. So that makes it kind of tough. So you're probably going to have to craft them. So if you go up here, it's going to require 1,000 of each of these. So see, I have millions because I've ran it. What you can do is you're going to run the tower. That's going to give you these items. And then you can use these items, craft yourself out multiples within tiers of 10. As you can see there, I have 233. That's because I ran a lot of Chaos Gate. But then you can go through and use each one of these to craft one of them. So see, like I got a Samuel here. Let's go ahead and just say, we just craft up one. Now we go here. Bam, it gives me another one. See, we'll just go ahead and we'll craft another one. See, now I'm at 10. But that's how you craft these. Keep in mind too, money is very easy in the game. Like I said, you saw that I got like over 20 billion for one run. What you can do is, you can see right here is your gold currency. You can use it to get all of these items. Not these. I wouldn't recommend using these legendary essence to use these 2. To be honest, most of the time I just use the money for like these 2. Sometimes this one. But the red one, you should get more than enough because you're not going to use that many. These actually just farm up the tower to get them. And then these, obviously, like I said, craft them or farm the gate to get them. All right. Well, that is going to do it for that one. That is pretty much all the rest of the buildings. The next videos that I'm going to get into is going to be a video going over my team for Tower and going over my team for Chaos Gate. But hey, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, later guys. Have a good one.